Hey guys, this is Mike from BTR Budget Tech Reviews here, and today we're going to take a look at how to add heatsink to your motherboard or your processing chip to your computer. So this is probably like the first time I'm doing this. Here I have a really, well, not really old, but an older computer that I've had at my parents' house since, you know, I moved out to college and everything. This was actually my PC prior to me moving out, but I wanted to make some updates. So this is going to be kind of like a little mini series that I'm going to do actually. So this first one is just of me adding some thermal compound that you can get at any like electronics store. I bought this at Best Buy. It was only like $6. But basically what this does, it helps prevent your motherboard or your CPU from overheating. Okay, so let's see. So the next thing I want to tell you is you have to take apart your computer basically. So again, this is an old E-machine computer. Let me see if I can zoom in just a little bit. So here is what it looks like already opened up. I already opened it up for you guys, so you guys don't have to bear witness to that, unfortunately. But you know, I did have to remove like the hard drive. I did remove a stick of RAM just because I do planning on replacing the RAM also. And right now I'm going to remove the fan, which is actually on top of the actual processor. So as you can see here, the thermal compound actually was already basically, it's gone already, especially on the fan. And let me see if I can zoom in just a little more. So right here where my finger is, that's where the heatsink would go, and again, it's not very, there's nothing there basically. So this might be causing this older computer to be overheating. Not to say that it is, because this fan is pretty huge. But again, pretty simple to take out. It's a little dusty, but I already dusted it out. I'm surprised it's not dirtier actually, because this thing's been running for forever now. But again, all you're gonna do is just take this heatsink compound, and let me open this up really quick for you guys. And you're just gonna basically put a little bit on top of that area there. Not too much, because if you put too much, it's gonna overflow and it's gonna get on your motherboard there, and you don't want it to get on there basically. So out of the box you just get like instruction manual, obviously how to use it, but it's pretty straightforward, and actually how to use the heatsink. So if I can actually get it out of the box here, which is a challenge in itself for a lot of things, here it is. It's gonna look like basically like kind of like a needle or something like that. This is the Insignia brand. They had another brand there, but I just bought the cheapest one. I don't want to waste too much money. But basically, once I put some of this heatsink back, I'm going to basically just throw this back on top and screw it back in. Now this is kind of a weird setup on how it is. I actually kind of have to figure out on how I'm gonna place this back. I think it goes back like that though. So you really have to kind of remember how and where everything goes once you're done doing something like this. It's super simple, but something simple could also be a tedious thing when you're taking things apart and putting them back together. So again, I already removed the little top part of the heatsink. I actually got some on my hand already. I don't know what happened there. Hopefully it's not poisonous, but basically all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pour some on here. And you're gonna just kind of squeeze it out onto the actual motherboard here, or to the processor chip. And this older computer is running an AMD Athlon 64-bit system, which at the time was actually, this was 2009 when I bought this PC. You put a little more. I bought this PC back in 2009 at Walmart. Walmart was pretty famous when it came to selling inexpensive computers, or computer setups at least at the time. So again, the heatsink is already on there, as you can see there. So let me see if I can zoom in just a little more so you guys can see that I did put the heatsink. And excuse me if the lighting is kind of like horrible right now. But again, it's just like a liquid material that hopefully will dry up. But I'm basically just what I'm gonna do is I'm basically going to put this back on top now, which is the fan, and I'm gonna screw it back in. If I can find my screwdriver here, and then we'll get it going from there, guys. So let me let me go ahead and take care of that. So the fan, obviously, it's going to kind of squish the heatsink in a little bit. I'm hoping that it doesn't drip onto the motherboard, because I did put a little bit, but you know, we'll find out, I guess. And if my head gets into the shot, sorry about that. No, that's just the way it's supposed to be set up though. And I can already feel it kind of squishing around here. I'm hoping that it doesn't go over, if you know what I mean, guys. Like, but let me see if I can actually screw this back in, or start screwing this back in. See, I'm trying to figure out which way the screws go, if you know what I mean. But let me just try screwing some of the screws back in, and let me just start seeing if it goes, if you know what I mean. Because these are actually supposed to just kind of pop back in, but you know, I don't want there to be any issues, obviously. So again, let me stop the video here so I can get this going, and then I'll show you guys this screwed back in. Okay, guys. Alright guys, I'm back, and this is again Mike from BTR Budget Tech Reviews. So I managed to get this in. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get two of the screws on. I'm not sure what's going on there. I might have to actually reposition this again a little later on. But yeah, this was just to try to get you know, more heatsink onto the actual processor, so that, you know, it doesn't overheat as much. So what I did was I already connected the little fan back to this, and it's already plugged in. So now all I have to do is just connect everything back together, and we're good to go, guys. So again, this is just a quick tutorial video, guys, on how to add heatsink to your you know, processor, or you know, whatever it's called, that, you know, to help keep this PC cooled. Now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to install a new hard drive and a few more other things. So guys, this is just a quick tutorial video on how to do this, guys. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. You know, again, I'm not an expert. These are just little things that I'm doing myself to actually get this going. So again, guys, this is Mike from BTR Budget Tech Reviews signing off. We'll see you next time.